Hey, what's up? This is Milo, and today I'm going to show you how I make beats in FL Studio, you feel me? Now, this is a sample beat. The sample source is called Whitney Houston. I don't know what this song's called, hang on. The Greatest Love of All, I think that's what it's called, I can't see it. But anyway, that's what the song is, Whitney Houston. And so what I've done here is I've just dropped the song straight into the DAW. This is FL Studio. And what I'm doing here is I'm cutting up the sample, I'm searching for a loop. That's the first thing I want to do, search for a loop. Now this song got a cool synth intro, so you know, I'm going to chop that up because it's a big obvious grab. Here we go. So there's my loop. Now I'm just cleaning up the loop so it's perfect in terms of looping. There you go, you can see that that loops perfectly. So here I stretch the tempo and the pitch, just to put a bit of a spin on it. I mean really just so I can like put it on YouTube, you feel me? So I'm choosing my bass now, I've got a big fat 808. What I do is I load up direct wave, and that's a sampler. I drop the 808 sample into direct wave, and what that allows me to do is select the loop points of the kick sample of the 808 sample. So you know, instead of cutting out at the end of the sample, it bounces back. Now I go ahead and make the bass line, basically just you know using some root notes that fit the key of the song. So I've made the bass line, you know, I didn't like that hi-hat sample, that was the default sample, obviously I was going to change that shit, so I just choose a new hi-hat. I just found a kick sample, now I'm laying down my kicks. Now I've just thrown in some claps for the rhythm, get a bit of a feel of what's happening, you feel me? Now I'm gonna get rid of that ugly default clap sound with some badass trap claps or some shit, you feel me? Or a snap maybe, here we go, I've chosen a snap. Now I need a snare, and I always choose this snare because this snare goes hard, you feel me? This is my favorite snare. So now I'm putting a bit of rhythm into the snare, a bit of a shuffle into the snare, adding some accents and, you know, lowering the velocity using the, whatever that fucking thing is on the step sequencer with the pink columns. Now I'm adding some hi-hats, more hi-hats, open hi-hats, you feel me? Get a bit more of a bounce happening. I'm all about the bouncy beats, bro. Oh yeah, this is coming together now, you feel me? Hey. So there I'm just adjusting the snare rhythm. Looks like now I'm gonna go and equalize the instruments. So I'm equalizing the kick sample here, just taking out some of the lower frequencies because I don't want the sub bass from the kick to sort of interact with the actual 808 bass drum, which is where most of my bass is coming from. Looks like I just added some, what did I do there? I added some overdrive to the kick so I can make it loud and make it clip. It sounds like it, well, it's not actually clipping, but it sounds like it's clipping. It just makes it hit harder, so, you know, overdrive your kicks. That's a Young Milo secret, okay? That's how, you know, XXXTentacion be doing, you feel me? That's how, yeah, those motherfuckers be doing, bro. So I add some compressor on the bass, and some equalization and shit like that, you know. So I'm just equalizing more stuff, reducing some of the frequencies from the 808 so it doesn't clash with the kick again. And basically, look, I'm gonna go ahead and do this with like all of the tracks. Eliminate the unnecessary frequencies. That's what mixing is about, man. You don't want these frequencies to clash. You don't want to make it too sterile either. A lot of people complain about that kind of shit, but you know, you'll get an ear for it eventually. Now that snap sample that I originally chosen was like a real dirty sample, already had reverb on it, and it was like a low quality sample and shit, so I've just chosen another one. I've added some reverb to it myself and shit like that. And now I'm equalizing the sample and, you know, doing that kind of shit. I'm just using presets to do a quick mix here, you feel me? Because, like, you know, I'm just showing you like how you can whip up a beat quickly. So I'm just using some presets in terms of like the compressors and stuff. Also, you'll see me use Sound Goodizer on a few of my tracks, like the sample, maybe the bass, maybe the kick. Sound Goodizer is an exciter, basically. I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes shit sound good. There's lots of different ones, but Sound Goodizer is default with FL Studio. So what I'm doing here is adding a peak controller, fruity peak controller to the kick, and I've just linked that to the sample, so as you can hear, the sample starts ducking behind the kick. I'm adding delay to the sample basically to help with atmosphere. I'm going to adjust the delay, and it makes the sample sound a little bit thicker, a little more dreamier. And I'm also going to side chain the delay, so you know, basically this is just all effects, just some easy sample manipulation to get some good shit sounding even gooder. You feel me? I'm all about that good shit, bro. Oh, so here I've finished like doing that quick mixing. So now I'm going on to look for another loop and more parts of the sample now, man. So I found this part and I'm going to bring it across, and I'm going to start structuring the beat a little more, you feel me? Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually chopping up the sample as well, because like I used that original passage and that wasn't very creative, was it? Like just, you know, like a 4-bar section of the original song. That's not very original. So, you know, I've chopped this part up. I'm exploring the chops and how they sound and putting them in different orders and shit. There we go. That's that dope shit, bro. So now I'm just working on structure, laying down some more bass lines, a few more patterns. I've taken away the bass from this pattern, so, you know, you gotta have dynamics in your beat. It's about build up and breakdown. You gotta have loud, busy parts, and you gotta have like quiet parts. So here I'm experimenting with more sample chopping. I didn't have any idea what I was going to do going into this. This is improvisation. Make it easier, everybody searching for who used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. We used to be. Alright, so this is what I went with. Very dramatic. You feel those chords? touches my heartstrings, man. Feeling emotional about this beat right now. Now I'm throwing some bass down, adding some more patterns. And that's basically it for my patterns and shit. One thing you notice is that I do all my patterns and all the variations inside of one pattern. Like a lot of people, they stretch their shit out and they have like big thick playlists with like 100 of these fucking, what do they call them? 100 tracks going down the left, you know. They layer all their instruments like that, but I'm not about that, man. That's shit house. What do you do it like that for? Do it like me, man. I'm better. Contain your shit. I don't want to look at a big messy ass fucking FL playlist, you feel me, man? Doesn't make you look impressive, bro. Just makes you look messy. Young Milo got sophistication, man. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Chopped up the sample, made some patterns, threw down some bass and all the rest of it. New percussion. Yo, this is what I'm doing now. I've added like a filter to the sample which will fade in and out. And that's what that blue track is down the bottom. And the green track just above that is the master volume. I've just made a fade in and fade out. And this is it. This is the beat, man. More or less, anyway. There's my filter coming in. But yeah, there you go. This beat, this beat took me 56 minutes to make. You know, you could do beats a lot faster. I could also, you know, take longer to do this. I could add more to it or whatever. But hope you enjoyed seeing this, and hopefully you learned some shit. You feel me? Hey, Young Milo, bro. Check out my music. I'm on like SoundCloud and YouTube, man.